All right, Kawhi Leonard's at the line for his second free throw. He knocks it down. Clippers go up 1. Welcome to the Banter Ball podcast, where the Clippers are now leading the Rockets 56-55, and the Indiana Pacers are leading the New York Knicks 94-93. Is that right?
Yeah, it's something, right? I don't know. I mean, no, they're actually losing by 2 now, so we're all good. We're good. It's
96 now,
94.
Knicks. Somebody just knocked down a 3. Let's see who did that. Game highlights on Google. I've never.
There.
What the heck? I just tried to look at a play-by-play. I just tried to pull up a play-by-play on Google. Never doing that ever again.
It was Cat.
All right, big 3 from Cat. Oh, Kawhi Leonard posting up on Tari Eason, goes for the fadeaway. It's in.
What's Giannis been doing in that game? If anything, I don't even know if he's playing right now.
What's who been doing?
Giannis.
I don't freaking know. Not much.
All right.
1 point. He has 1.
Okay, he made a free throw. That's my boy.
And 4 rebounds for Yannick Niederreiter.
Not bad for a 7-footer.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get this show on the road. Welcome to the Banter Ball podcast. I'm Corey here with Kyle and Brennan. You've heard from Brennan plenty, but Kyle, as always, coming in slow. Kyle, how are we today? With the Whalers.
Okay. I am. I'm doing a nice combo here. I'm doing the Hartford Whalers and I'm doing the Miami Heat, who just awesomely lost to the Utah Jazz yesterday. So I'm doing as good as you can in these
Utah Jazz who benched their stars in the entire fourth quarter.
That's good. Utah just keep winning, you know?
No.
I was thinking yesterday before that game, I'm like, you know what? I need to watch Will Hardy press conferences. Will Hardy's the head coach of the Utah Jazz, because I know he wants to win, and I'm sure he's just like hating his life having to do this. And sure enough, the clip goes semi-viral of him after the press conference where the person was like, how close were you to putting Markkanen and Jaren Jackson back in the game in the fourth quarter? And he goes, not at all. It's just not.
I feel like you shouldn't be
really angry.
I feel like you should not be able to do that. That doesn't seem.
I just don't know how you regulate that. It's really. It's honestly, people are like, "Oh, it's ruining the league," and it is. But it's also really entertaining to me to watch. Because I was going to talk about this, before that win even happened. But I watched Jaren Jackson's first game against Orlando. Him and Lauri Markkanen combined for, I think, 49 points in 3 quarters, and didn't even play the full 3 quarters. Markkanen had 27 in 26 minutes. Jackson had 22 in 24 minutes, and they looked great. Their defense was spotty, but they looked so good offensively, and then they just benched their team, and I was like, dang, man. I enjoyed a really good first half of basketball. But I don't know. That's just the landscape of the NBA now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, it's the same way with Indiana. I don't think Zubac hasn't played a game for us yet.
Zubac is not going to play a game. He has a shoulder injury. Didn't you know?
Yeah.
Didn't you know?
Shoulder injury.
He's played, I think, the last 15 games.
Hey, Kobe Brown is making his debut for the Pacers right now. So Kobe Brown is playing the big piece of that trade, obviously. What has he done? What is it? It's not Cam Jones.
Oh, my gosh.
Kobe Brown. Oh, he's got 7 points tonight. Okay.
Great. Well, the Pacers are obviously going to try to win against the Knicks. Even if it's in a lackadaisical way, they'll never just give up a game to the Knicks. But anyway, we will talk about the NBA later. But let's get the highlight out of the way. The Super Bowl 60 just happened. And I'll be honest, in recent memory, I've never seen the next Super Bowl advertised so aggressively, right after this Super Bowl.
Again, it's a product. It's a product of ESPN taking it. The amount of Disney commercials I've seen, the one with Buzz Lightyear and whatever. I think I've seen that.
Hey, this is
it's fine.
It's so weird. I've never seen such a heavily admittized next Super Bowl the day after this Super Bowl.
They had Scott Van Pelt fly middle of the game from San Francisco to SoFi Stadium so they could toss the baton off to ESPN for the next year's too. They're doing the post-game show of this year's Super Bowl outside of next year's venue. It's
very
chaos.
weird. Very strange.
Oh, well, it's ESPN's first time ever having the Super Bowl, right? I think so. I think that's what I saw.
It might be, yeah, because they usually don't get it.
And it's always
CBS, Fox,
it's been like
CBS, Fox, and NBC.
Fox is the one that I always feel like happens, but it's been NBC recently. Was it CBS?
I think they rotate every year, but no.
Last year was Fox.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen the most Fox. But anyway, Seahawks won. Kyle, what are your reactions to this interesting but not really entertaining game?
No, it was what I think everyone expected, at least what I expected. It was just a heavily defensive game. Like Seahawks defense the last like 10 or so weeks of football have just been totally stout, and they haven't really given up a whole lot of points to teams that are not the Los Angeles Rams or the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for some reason. I mean, through 3 quarters, the MVP of the game was the kicker. I mean, just to put that in perspective, literally, he had all of the points up until that touchdown, and then it kind of started to fade away from there. And then I think Kenneth Walker got the MVP, which, but yeah, I as much as I didn't want to put off the Patriots, I did put off the Patriots a lot, but you never want to distrust a franchise like that, even though I think statistically speaking, they had a worse points per drive in these 4 playoff games than the Patriots from the wild card to the Super Bowl than the 2016 Cleveland Browns. So the 2016 Cleveland Browns, their season scored more efficiently than the Patriots did, and they ended up making the Super Bowl or in this playoff run. And I think that it speaks a lot to if you look at the Patriots schedule, I think only 1 or 2 of their teams still have their head coach from the start of this season.
One of them is the New York Jets, and other
one of them is the New York Jets.
And
there you go. Yeah, so it's a pretty damning thing for them, I feel. And you never want to say that they weren't ready for it or they just weren't prepared or this roster itself is not ready. But I can't think of a scenario where a Super Bowl appearance has landed better and into the hands of someone more than the Patriots this year.
Well, I just can't say anybody really expected them to be there, and when that's the case, it's hard to be ready,
Well, sure, but I'm just saying, I think if Bo Nix was healthy for that game, I think, Corey, you would even hope to agree that they would have won that game.
100%.
They would have some competency on offense. If Buffalo would have won that game, I think Buffalo would have beaten them. Yeah. They played a Houston team whose quarterback just completely decided to fall off the face of the earth.
While their quarterback was also not doing too hot.
He was also doing that. It's just they had a better defense, or they had the home field advantage, I think, which helped. And it was horribly rainy outside during the game.
All Drake May had to do was outplay C.J. Stroud, and C.J. Stroud has 4 or 5 turnovers.
He had 4 turnovers before the second half, I think.
Yeah,
just put that in perspective.
Looking like a Brooklyn Nets Utah Jazz game.
Just completely inept on both sides of the ball. But I do want to give a huge shout out to Seattle though, because I think the only team that they technically fully lost to on the schedule this year was the Buccaneers, and they didn't even end up making the playoffs because they beat the Rams in the championship game, even though they lost to them earlier, and then same with the Niners. I want to give huge props to Seattle. They'll just taking a new quarterback from a team that had won 14 games prior to that. And that such an easy transition somehow from Geno Smith to Sam Darnold, a guy that has been written off more times than one can really count, and they were able to get it done. And it's so strange to think that he was the first quarterback in that draft class to get a Super Bowl. It's just so strange to me, but yeah,
things happen. Brennan, thoughts on that?
Yeah, it was again exactly what I expected. New England, simply put, was just not ready for that. I mean, they faced the level of defense that they were going to face before, But what they did not face the entirety of the AFC playoffs was a competent offense. To our playoff Justin Herbert, we all know the story with him. CJ Stroud just forgot how to play football. And then Jared Stidham, and no offense to that guy, but he's a backup for a reason. And when you go up against a guy like Sam Darnold, who's been balling all year, you have the offensive player of the year, Jackson Smith and Jigba. K9 was literally the Super Bowl MVP. I mean, the defense can only do so much. And I mean, the Patriots defense, a top 10 unit in the league, arguably top 5 if you want to go there. You can only do so much when they're the second best defense in the league, in my opinion, is on the other side of the field with you. And then the offense, of course, just Drake May wasn't ready. The weapons, I mean, Stephon Diggs just completely looked like a shell of himself again. Another great playoff performance from Mr. Diggs over there. The rest of the receivers couldn't get anything going. The running backs weren't too great either. Again,
running backs didn't even really try too much. They had less than 20 carries total, counting.
Yeah, I saw a stat. Bad Bunny had more yards on the ground.
More rushing yards
on the ground than the Patriots did the entire game. So, like, it was just a horrible, horrible performance from New England offensively. Drake May that did not beat those allegations. I mean, just imagine if he would have won the MVP. And then he goes and puts up a performance like that. Like, I don't know what would have happened to him on the internet, but thank God.
Speaking of which, if we want to cover headlines late, which is what we kind of do on Banter Ball, Matt Stafford won the MVP, which I think, Kyle, you called that, right? I think you said that would be your vote.
Yeah.
That's a fair vote. I mean, I don't think anyone's upset about that one.
No, I agree with Kyle. And again, I think this playoffs kind of showed us why Stafford was the MVP. With Drake May's schedule, I mean, you are going to do those things to those teams. And Matthew Stafford had a much tougher schedule, had to play the Seahawks 3 times this season, and did better in all 3 games than Drake May would have done. And Stafford could have easily been in this position if they would have won that game, and it was a very close game too. So, again, Stafford fully deserved it after what we saw of Drake May. I mean, if you're being compared to the winless Cleveland Browns offensively, like, there are huge, huge problems.
Absolutely.
I think. Sorry. Additionally, I think particularly Drake May is like adjusted EPA was worse than 2015 Peyton Manning. Like Husk of Peyton Manning was better in the playoffs than Drake May was this year, which is just so strange to think about.
Like, going off of that, I think we're referring to the same stat here. Although I think this was actually 06 Manning. The regular season stats versus the playoff stats, you got to keep in mind, the rest of this list is a bunch of Hall of Fame quarterbacks who could not elevate their game in the playoffs. I think Drake May having all right stats in the regular season, like, his performance dropped the most in the postseason out of any quarterback in NFL history. Like,
well, I mean, that doesn't really surprise me when you look at this game specifically. I mean, he threw 40 passes. I mean, like, you're doing so much.
When you're in a negative game script, obviously you're going to throw more passes.
Well, exactly. But just in general, they have their offense running so much through him, and I mean, he's a young quarterback, so it's like if things are going well, then he's either going to be average or above average or whatever you want to say. And if things aren't, it's going to be a really drastic fall off. But I mean, I don't know, maybe this is a hot take, but I don't think this is like any sign that Drake May isn't going to be a quarterback of the future. I mean, I think he's proven everything. He's proven everything you need, and to show that he'll be back here soon. I mean, granted, people said that about Joe Burrow a few years ago, and knock on wood.
Well, I don't think there's ever been a quarterback who's made the Super Bowl in their second year who's ever been back. And I know the list is only like 5, and that includes 3 active players if you count Drake May on that. It's just kind of weird how that happens. But we'll see. I think Burrow is more likely to go back to a Super Bowl than Drake May. But
you'd hope.
And it's really, really tough with May. And if this is like way, way off in advance, and I think the Patriots will keep him. But look at the history of that organization. If May fails to bring home a ring in his rookie year, if you're the Patriots with pressure with the fans, like say next year you lose the division again to Buffalo, you get eliminated in the playoffs and that trend happens, like maybe you win another AFC East. Do you think they let him walk in free agency if he's not getting the job done?
Well, okay. I'm just saying,
Corey. Obviously, you don't want to, but with an organization like the Patriots, is that a realistic option?
I do want to, Corey. For as preposterous as this does kind of sound, I do kind of want to entertain it for a second, because think about this: when they drafted Mac Jones, they got back into the playoffs their first year, right? I think at 10-7, and then they got their ass handed to them by Buffalo. And then after that year, the assumption I feel like was okay. That then they found their guy for the future, and then the year after that, they just completely fell off the face of the earth, and they ended up drafting Drake May. So,
yeah, but I mean, I wasn't imagining a world where Drake May leads the team to being remarkably bad. I mean, what was
I don't think
or something? Because Brennan is saying like if he doesn't get the job done, and I was thinking like in the playoffs, will they move on from? I don't see that happening. But yeah, I mean, if they do horrible, and then maybe. But like, I don't think with the coaching staff that they have now and everything that they've been able to accomplish, I don't think the Patriots are going
I agree. I mean, what I'm saying, I even think myself is like pretty preposterous, especially him getting to the Super Bowl. Mac Jones put up like 2 touchdowns, and the Bills had the first ever perfect offensive game in NFL history in that wild card round. So it's like you're comparing apples to oranges almost, but I'm saying from a Patriots fan perspective, when you had a quarterback like Tom Brady and then you saw Mac Jones didn't get the job done, it's like, well, obviously Drake May is not going to lead them to a top 10 draft pick, but if they kind of get in the pattern of where Drake May, I don't think he has the potential to be a Burrow, Mahomes, Allen, or Lamar Jackson. So it's like if he's making the playoffs every year and he loses in the first round every year, it's like,
well, what I will say about this
again,
Super Bowl,
I do agree. I think what I'm saying is kind of outlandish, especially right now, and only time will tell. But again, if you have a storied franchise that's run correctly like New England, because obviously there are other teams that have Super Bowls like your Steelers, Kyle, who would not move on from a guy like this if he leads into the playoffs and gets eliminated in the first round every year. But I don't know, just some food for thought. Because
I don't know what I will say from a Patriots fan perspective is I think this Super Bowl like appearance makes you more patient, right? Like you've already had a lot of success in recent-ish history as a franchise, and so if you're still having some glimpses of success here and there, I think it gives you more patience to go and find your guy. And if 2 years down the line they think, oh, Drake May isn't our guy, then I think the fans won't be too mad about trying to move on rather than sticking with it. Whereas you have a situation with the Pittsburgh Steelers, any time there's any glimpse of success, it's, oh, this could be the next Super Bowl that we haven't had in over a decade and a half.
Super Bowl.
So nobody moves for anything, So I think it makes you more patient from that perspective. But I don't think the organization would move on from a guy this young, this like public facing, because I mean, regardless of what we think about Drake May, I will always, every time I hear the name Drake May, I will think about the fact that he did not play in the Duke's Mayo Bowl against the West Virginia Mountaineers when I was there. Yeah. So regardless of what we think about Drake May, I mean, you saw it with the Super Bowl advertising. They were pumping blood through him. He was their vesicle that they were pumping blood into the Super Bowl from, And the second he lost, they moved on to the California Super Bowl. They immediately went next.
State to state.
I mean, they like I guess he is well liked potentially, or at least a good public figure. I don't either.
Okay.
I don't know.
Can we?
I can't like any.
I don't think the NFL.
Okay, but it's not even
a guy like Drake May more than Sam Darnold, obviously, who's been on 5 teams in 8 years.
it's easy to market a guy like Drake May more than Sam Darnold because he plays with the Patriots, right? The Patriots have been this like.
It's also really easy that, going off what you said, and I'll let you finish here, but again, Sam Darnold's been in the league for how many years, and how many of those years has he been a bad football player?
8.
Drake May's been in the league for 2.
He's been in the league 8 years.
He's been good for, like, really good this year. He was an MVP.
Really good for 2. Really good for 2 years.
Yeah.
Okay, but
I don't know. Drake May's been really good for a year and a half.
Drake May. Look, it's easy to market a guy like him, again, because he plays for New England, and they've had such a high standard within the last 25 years. And whenever you, like, even when thinking, because I'm now thinking, like, cross-culturally, because of all, like, the different games that they're going to now. Like, by the way, you predicted last year that they're going to go to Australia. They're going to go to Australia next year, I think, Corey. So kudos to you. Yeah.
That was the last short I think we uploaded to Banter Ball on YouTube.
No, but okay. Getting away from my point. Like, the Patriots, I feel like, are the most cross-culturally, like, important franchise, right? Because, like, whenever, it's Tom Brady played there, they've been winning all this year. For me, as a fan of the game, I said this, I think, last week. I will never, ever enjoy any quarterback who plays for the New England Patriots till I'm 6 feet under.
But you'll keep watching them, though. Is the difference? Like, hating
because
something.
I'm forced to.
From a fan perspective, though, hating something is probably more likely to make you watch than having no opinions on something. I mean, look at the NBA. I mean, like, you look at a Pacers Thunder NBA Finals. Everyone can agree that was a good competitive finals, but nobody cared enough to watch all 7 games, unless you were already an NBA fan. So whereas you can hate LeBron James, but you hear LeBron playing in the finals, you're going to turn it on. So that's the same deal here with the Patriots. I mean, I don't know. I do see what you're saying about him being a little, like, replaceable as far as, like, he's popular because he plays for the Patriots. So maybe this is a guy that's interchangeable as far as Drake May goes. But I mean, we've got many years to figure that out.
No, yeah, and again, what I was saying, years in advance. Like, this is his 2nd year. He's still got 3 more years on his rookie deal with New England. So we're going to be sitting here in, 2029, 2030, if we're still doing this.
Still on the Banter Ball podcast.
I mean, yeah, long live the Banter Ball. Let's hope we can keep this going until we revisit this in 4 years when Drake May is either the franchise guy for New England or is turned into Mac Jones.
In 2029, let's pump out another episode of the Unnamed Sports Podcast.
Yeah,
let's get that going.
Let's revisit
with special guest Kyle
and Evander Kane drama and see how well that
special guest Kyle.
Yes, I can't believe that was like the last thing I think we talked about was the Warriors Celtics NBA Finals.
Oh man, what 2022?
Yeah, that sounds right.
I have lived 80,000 lifetimes since that finals.
Yeah,
I know. It feels like
we were in high school during that NBA finals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yikes. We're unks now. I mean,
I guess that was technically the last NBA finals of our high school career because Denver beat Miami the summer after.
Yeah, that's correct. Jeez, I mean, time flies at Miami.
I mean, hey, do we want to talk about basketball? Anything else we want to say on NFL Super Bowl right now?
I mean, again, it was just a boring Super Bowl to watch. I get behind Kyle. I see Jason Myers. I mean, it was going to be Kenneth Walker regardless. I don't know they'd ever give it to unless Jason Myers hit a game winner and also had all those field goals. Like Walker, actually, I will say this. Why couldn't Kenneth Walker do that weeks 1 through 17 of the NFL regular season? I am very, very upset about that. I drafted that guy in all of my fantasy leagues because I knew Mike McDonald loved to run the football, and he does nothing until the Super Bowl. Like,
it's because Zach was out. Zach was hurt.
I know, but like, all right, now Charbonnet just better be like gone, bro. Like, cut him, like, get rid of him. Go, he can make a bag somewhere else. K-Man needs to be RB1 in Seattle after that performance. I don't want anything to do with Charbonnet anymore. All right, like, done. we're done, with Charbonnet. Garbonnet. Like, dude, he cost me my league, and he cost me both of my leagues actually. I'm at a loss for words with this. Like, I'm sitting there watching the game. Like, what is going on right now? You had all season to do this, and you wait until like a month and a half when I'm eliminated in the fantasy football playoffs. So
okay, great.
Screw you, K9, for that.
Like a month after they even ended, but okay. Okay, yeah. Can I? This is still kind of sports adjacent. Can you honestly, genuinely name a commercial that you enjoyed watching this year? I can't.
I didn't even watch the commercials.
What do you mean? I did watch the commercials. I don't know. The only one
I was talking to people and like
the only one that sticks out. The only one that sticks out in my brain was that awful manscaping commercial that made me want to die.
I did not see that one.
I keep seeing the Levi's commercial on like YouTube and stuff. That I didn't like. I saw it once during the game. I didn't think that was good. The Dunkin' commercial was really weird.
That was weird. I did not like
the one. That's like the one I remember.
The Goodwill Hunting Dunkin' commercial.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, great movie. Fantastic movie.
Great movie.
Oh, come on.
I would like to see it.
That's got to be next.
Weird commercial choice. I was very surprised by that.
The one I do remember was I even forget what company it was for, but it was the one with like the farm. It's like, it's your farm now, and they're having like a nice little. Did you watch that one? No, am I speaking out of my ass here?
I did like the Mandalorian and Grogu commercial.
The trailer.
I think that was pretty good. Like how they
I was going to say the Mario Galaxy
commercial
trailer.
Before that was kind of sick. Like,
didn't a new Minions trailer drop?
Yeah, that was
none of the original Minions are on it, dude. I'm not watching that. I need to see my guy Kevin.
I was gonna say, where's Kevin, Stewart, and Bob? Like, come on now.
Okay.
You know the other one? I thought the karaoke one was pretty good too. I
was thinking about the karaoke. No. It's memorable. But what even was the karaoke one for? Was it for crypto or something?
Cryptocurrency. I don't want to use cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
All the ads were
I thought the commercial was a good idea. Doesn't mean I'm going to use crypto, but I thought it was
all of the reactions I saw on social media from that commercial specifically was everyone singing along to the song because everyone likes that song, right? Everyone loves the Backstreet Boys.
Likes that song. I feel like they could have picked a better song.
A lot of people like that song. And then when the Coinbase logo goes over, everyone in the crowd is groaning. It's like, oh, we just sung for 60 seconds for a Coinbase commercial.
That's how they get you, though. Like crypto.
But that doesn't make me want to buy it now.
Well, remember a couple years ago,
it's a really good marketing strategy.
Well, remember a couple years ago when they did that QR code bouncing around the screen and it was crypto.
I mean, that was a genius commercial too. Like those crypto, I give credit to the crypto companies. Never gonna buy a product of them. They got some damn good marketers working on their team.
Wait. If you're not buying their products, then they're not good marketers. That's not how that works.
Well, I know. Their products. They made me aware
anyone buying crypto in the first place? Like, if it was any other thing other than crypto, and they were running that commercial, I'd be like, yeah, I'd entertain buying something from them.
How did those AI commercials do for you? The ones that were
all AI.
The ones that were like,
I hated it, man.
No advertisements in AI. I'm like, bro, I don't want AI. Period. Please.
No. It was all right when Coca-Cola first did it, but now everyone's just copying them.
No, it wasn't. Those commercials are awful.
I feel like it was at the forefront of it, though. You know, like the OG Coke.
Everyone hates those commercials, dude.
I understand that.
Pepsi commercial with a polar bear in it this year.
That was a good one. That was because it plays it on the head. Everyone knows the polar bear drinking the Coca-Cola and the fact that it was like, oh, you gotta try Pepsi now. It's a polar bear. Because, I mean, obviously Coca-Cola doesn't have the rights to a polar bear. So it's cool that they're just able to kind of flip that sort of thing.
I thought they could have rights to a polar bear drinking Coke, drinking a cola.
Drinking a soft drink? I mean, maybe, but...
I don't know. It feels like a pretty unique concept. Like, I feel like you can trademark that in some way.
No way, dude. An animal drinking or eating... stuff like that? No way. Okay.
I don't know.
Anyway, let's move out of the Super Bowl. Congratulations to Seattle. I'm so glad that they won. Yeah. Though it technically makes our podcast a little less entertaining because we would probably all be like screaming right now if the Patriots won.
We just screamed for.
I mean, look,
5 minutes
Mike
of commercials.
Or John Schneider just was perfect as a GM in constructing that team. So, and the Patriots got some work to do. They got through an easy AFC. Bo Nix was healthy. Broncos are in the Super Bowl. If Josh Allen wins that game, Bills are in the Super Bowl. Like
they got a first place schedule coming up too.
Yeah,
the first place schedule.
Well, let's toss it over to the NBA. Big headline in the NBA. I think possibly the biggest headline of the NBA as far as game playing goes this season. Viral clip of the Hornets Pistons fight, and I am so happy I caught that game live. I am so happy that I watched that whole game. And early I think it was actually late in the first quarter, I was watching and I was like, wow, they're like being really physical right now. Maybe a fight will happen. And sure enough, later, Jalen Duren must have said something. He must have said something.
He did, and then he got like pushed in the head.
I understand he got pushed in the head, but he must have said something to make Musa Diabate that mad. And then after the fight was broken up, he was talking again, and Miles Bridges heard what he said, and he comes freaking running at him too, just for Isaiah Stewart to come off the bench and punch the heck out of Miles Bridges. So very interesting situation there.
I'm going to start off, before we get into the actual fight of this, I will start off by saying the clip I watched, it was the Charlotte Hornets broadcaster. And for those of you who don't know who he is, look him up. He is legendary. I was very disappointed in his call of that fight.
You thought he would have been a lot
more fun, a lot more chaotic. It was...
Well, I mean, you can't be pro fighting whenever.
I know you can't, but you can be excited about it.
He was worried about Musa. He was genuinely worried about Musa. I could hear the worry in his voice. He was like, "Whoa! Like Musa doesn't ever get this mad. Like, what's going on?" Like he was scared. He was frightened.
Yeah, but you're a broadcast. Like, you're known for your excitement of the game. Like, come on, it's a fight. It's a fight in the NBA game. You're probably never gonna see like this level of it again. Like, show some emotion. Like.
Well,
where's the Kevin Harlan moment, you know? Like, come on now.
You could have seen another fight like 30 minutes later in Timberwolves Atlanta game, except the Timberwolves were winning by like 30 or something, so a lot less relevant.
But yeah, no, I mean, it was a crazy fight. I mean, it's the second one we've seen in the NBA this year that got to that level now. I mean... Kyle and I were talking about it a little bit beforehand. I mean, yeah, something must have been said because that's the only way that you're getting that flustered.
It gets to that level. Not even just two guys particularly fighting, like everyone interacting at some point.
Yeah, and I mean, you guys, Kyle, you may know, I saw this in a different sport, like completely different. Like this stuff is allowed, but like, Penn State hockey against Michigan State was it 2 weeks ago now, that Friday game. One of Penn State's players was called something, and it took that dude like an entire period to cool. Like he was in the penalty box still like screaming at the Michigan State players, at the refs, like at the coach, like everybody, dude. It was insane. So like, and I can't say what he was allegedly called, but it was not good.
I don't know. I will say. I mean,
I understand why you got that bad. So
if we were doing this podcast, a couple of years ago, maybe I would have gotten on my high horse and been like, "Well, hey, like you got to keep your cool. It's part of your job description, things like that." I can now think of, in the older stages of my life, I can think of a few things if they were said to me. Oh man, like. I don't care where I am. I don't care what I'm doing. I don't care what's on the line. It would be hard for me not to just
to absolutely not just lay out the guy. Yeah.
Yeah, there are some things that can definitely be said.
Yeah,
but I will say this: you fight, cool, whatever. Bad for the NBA, good for viewership, whatever you want to call it. That game was awesome. That game was so good. Pistons, number one team in the East, snapped the Charlotte Hornets 9-game winning streak. And So that fight happens. There's a little bit of a cool down where Paul Reed for the Pistons is doing really well, whatever, and they start racking up the points. And then there's a foul called. I think it was Grant Williams that got called with the foul, and head coach Charles Lee gets super mad about that. He gets thrown out of the game, and then immediately after he gets thrown out of the game, one of the most beautiful sequences of basketball. Con Kneppel, Brandon Miller, LaMelo Ball, incredible passing into a Con Kneppel three-pointer, and then next play, Con Kneppel another three, and they come back and cut that within 6. They had a few opportunities there towards the end, and they showed their youth where both Brandon Miller and Con Kneppel missed big threes towards the end there. But wow, that is a team that is entertaining. The last time that the Charlotte Hornets made the playoffs was with Kemba Walker, and like, wow, if this team can be entertaining, because I have never seen entertaining Hornets basketball, and I get bandwagons now because that team was fun to watch. I kind of want to become a Charlotte Hornets fan as like one of my 5 teams, because I want to watch them and keep seeing them grow. That's an entertaining team right there.
I agree. But like from the beginning of the year, even when they weren't,
and they got the pinstripes already.
I'm already ready. Very entertaining to watch. They got some guys on that team that just make you want to watch basketball. And I know I talked about the broadcaster earlier, but you got some cool jerseys. You got these young guys, Brandon Miller, Con Kneppel, of course, LaMelo Ball. These guys are
Carolina background. I mean, I understand Carolina is known so much for college basketball, but I mean, if they have a good team in Charlotte, I'm sure fans in Carolina are going to enjoy it. And you see that atmosphere. You saw the atmosphere of that game. People are liking it. I saw like a week ago, whenever there was the snowstorm and they had to push back a game, the Hornets were playing a game at 3 p.m. on like a Tuesday, and the stadium was like sold out. Like people like basketball in Carolina, and it is good for the sport, I think, if the Hornets actually have a good team.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Carolina, we usually don't see this a whole lot with a college market and a big team market kind of intersecting like that. Like we see it in college football a little bit. It really does not work. But you're seeing it work in Carolina, and it's going pretty well. And honestly, the Charlotte Hornets, for every reason I mentioned, I mean, the jerseys, the broadcaster, the team, the court is like really sick too. Even you can make an argument for the logo now too. I mean, look at all these other teams just doing those basic circle logos, and you got this cool Hornet like basketball. Like the vibes are so high in Charlotte right now. I don't think I've ever seen vibes this high for a team that's under 500 than I have the Charlotte Hornets.
Under 500 with a 9-game win streak, and they're still only 10th in the East. It's like kind of funny.
Yeah,
like weird combination of things.
I do wonder. I will say, a lot of the discourse today is, will this fight derail anything? Depending on what the suspensions look like, they could be without Musa for a good while, and they could be without Miles Bridges for a good while. And Miles Bridges, neither of those players are like the big 3 of the Hornets, but the second Musa Diabate got put into that starting lineup, the Hornets started winning because he has so much energy. All of the guys on the team love him for the amount of energy that he brings. And he showed a different kind of energy, last night, but people love him as a teammate. And then Miles Bridges is just a very capable scorer, very good athlete. So if both of those guys are out, that could really derail, the energy, the win streak of a team. But on the flip side of that, you could have them lifted up by what they're missing because, they, like we saw it whenever Charles Lee got ejected and Con Kneppel hit threes, the team was rallying. So maybe they'll have enough energy to bring it back. But I do wonder how the rest of the Hornets regular season can be, because I want it to stay as entertaining as that was.
No, I think it's going to be entertaining still. And I mean, of course, both of these losses, I mean, I don't think you gave Bridges that much credit there, Corey. Dude is averaging 18 and 6 a game. Like, those are very, very good numbers.
I said he's a scorer. Yeah. He's just not one of the big 3. You think
not in Charlotte, which is kind of crazy. But, and then Diabate, I mean, again, you said energy, man, 8 and 8. That's very respectable for a big man like that. So it's going to be tough without them. Obviously, those are 2 key pieces. I know they're not your big 3, but you're still relying on them to score and get rebounds to win games. And now that you're without them, it's a little bit questionable. Still think they're going to be a fun team to watch because, again,
what I will say before we pass over to Kyle, though, is you get to move Ryan Kalkbrenner back into the starting lineup, give him some more chances.
I totally forgot they had Kalkbrenner, too.
He was averaging 3 blocks a game earlier in the season, So if he can get back up with more minutes, then you can get him ready for the playoffs. Musa comes back for the playoffs. This team could be hot coming into the playoffs.
Are they in a play-in spot right now?
Yes.
Yeah, they're 10th right now. They're 10.
And they're not going to lose it. The only team that could take it is Milwaukee. They're not. No, but I don't know what Milwaukee's really going to do.
Yeah, no, I think they're a very capable playoff team.
Well, the rest of the teams in the East don't want to win. Is my point. All the teams under them except Milwaukee don't want to win games.
Yeah, and I don't know what Milwaukee's doing, to be honest. But
they said they're bringing it back.
They're dysfunctional right now. As a Pacers fan, I'm very happy about that. Hey, you got your ring, but they've just made a series of bad moves, bad move after bad move to get to where they are right now. The future is not bright with them. But,
emphasis on the ring, though, and I mean, I don't know what your guys' thoughts are on this, but I hear a lot of discourse that is really frustrating to me of people saying, "Oh, they failed to build a team around Giannis." No. Failed to build a team around Giannis. They won a championship. They had Eric Bledsoe, Chris Middleton.
They won a championship, and arguably. They won a championship in arguably one of the hardest seasons ever to do it. I feel.
Yeah, and it was because their team was a machine. They had so many pieces on that team that were
every time
they did not fail to build around Giannis. I hate that narrative.
Unless you are the Los Angeles Dodgers and you sign Ohtani and all of those guys, one championship is enough. For the most part. So it's
enough in the sense
after
that
championship, they
it's
started
worthwhile.
To make some bad moves, and maybe with Giannis you're expecting to win multiple, but one is like Giannis is an NBA champion. You cannot take that away from that organization.
There's a lot of great players in the league right now that you kind of quote unquote expect to have more championships, but that's just not the nature of the NBA anymore. You don't have guys that just go out and win 4 or 5 championships as superstars anymore. You would expect a guy as dominant as Nikola Jokic to have 5 titles, and if he was and trade him with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, he probably would, he put him on the Spurs instead of Tim Duncan, he probably would. But that's just not the era that we're in anymore.
I agree. Not a lot of.
And I think it's okay.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, not everyone can be a Steph Curry or a LeBron James, or you're winning a championship every other year, it seems like. And now you're seeing that more than ever with these superstars, and that's honestly one of the best. Not one of the best, but if you're an NBA fan, and I think you're really liking the parity that we're seeing around the league. And I think now more than ever, especially with other leagues kind of not having that. I mean, we in previous years on this podcast, we've sat here, we've talked about how we don't want to see Kansas City in the Super Bowl. We don't want to see New England in a Super Bowl again. We don't want to see the Dodgers in the World Series. Year after year, it feels like these other leagues are going more towards it's the same teams every year, whereas the NBA has shifted. And I get some people want to see the superstars on the bright stage. You want to see these teams playing Super Bowls and World Series and Stanley Cups.
But it's been
I'm really liking what the NBA, the product they're putting out right now with the parity that's going on.
It's 9 years straight of unique champions. I think that's correct me if I'm wrong.
I don't think that's right. 9 years, absolutely not.
I mean, maybe
that can't be right. The Warriors won in 15, 17, and 18.
But I'm saying after that, since then,
they won in 22 as well.
8 years.
They won in 22 as well.
All right, so 2019, 2019 and up, there's been a different champion every season.
Yes, 2019 Toronto, 2020 LA, 2021
That's 7
Milwaukee,
years. What I said, 9, whatever.
Then
Yeah.
Denver, Boston, OKC. Yes. And then this year, Houston.
I don't know. This might be the first back-to-back year. OKC, I don't know who's stopping them.
I don't know. I think OKC is going to struggle. Did you see Shaquille O'Neal had a bold take on NBA on ESPN the other day? He said the Spurs are going to beat the Thunder in the Western Conference Finals.
I could see it. I think the two teams. I mean, your Rockets are going to be there too, but I think the two teams that are going to be running the Western Conference for the next 10 years are going to be San Antonio and the Thunder.
Denver is not a bad team anymore.
Denver's not bad. I can totally see Denver making
from injuries here and there. Jokic is having great games. He's playing great. They lost last night. But Houston's in the mix. Lakers are in the mix. Denver's in the mix. I mean, hell. Clippers. I mean, there's competitive basketball in the West. Is all I'm trying to say.
The Western Conference is the best conference.
But I will say, if the Spurs make the finals, a Spurs Celtics or a Spurs Pistons finals, that would be awesome. Just so good. Yeah.
Spurs would be like old 2000s. Basketball, I feel.
Spurs Knicks. I mean, hey, Spurs Knicks, the 1999 NBA Finals. The Spurs took down the 8-seeded New York Knicks, the first 8 seed to ever make the NBA Finals.
God bless.
It could happen. I mean,
with washed-up Patrick Ewing during the lockout year.
I'd be all for that. I mean, hey, it's not the Knicks because I don't want to see them in the NBA Finals, but I'm all for San Antonio. I mean, Wembanyama's a dog. But, the entire Western Conference, there's a bunch of players there that, you just want to see win a championship. I mean, you already saw Jokic, but you want to see Edwards get one at some point. Shea already got his too. You want to see Wemby get one. I mean, there's just guy after guy after guy in the West that, you're I love these players. I want to see them get a championship. And I think that's really cool right now. As for the East, I mean, I'm okay with it. I mean, when the Pacers get back to the championship next season, hey,
not gonna happen.
You don't. I mean, hey,
I don't.
Everyone doubted us the last 2 years, and it took 2 Halliburton injuries for us.
I think it's awesome that you guys made it because the Pacers were in the kind of funk where they were just constantly being mediocre. I think it was awesome that you guys made it to the finals last season. I don't know if you'll make it back. I think you'll make it back to the Eastern Conference Finals. I don't know if you'll make it back to the finals.
Everyone doubted the Pacers this year. They made it. So if that people just keep doubting the chip on their shoulder, Halliburton is proven with that roster. You get your Miles Turner replacement officially. And I don't know who's stopping this team. If you get a guy.
How many years of Siakam do you have left is my question.
I mean, enough.
I'll look it up.
Kyle can look it up, but you get a guy, even if Siakam ends up leaving and you get a top 4 pick this year.
I'm not even saying leaving. He's getting old. I mean,
no, I'm aware. But
he's 31 years old because you got to think he was playing in the G League before he won that finals with Toronto.
I agree.
He was an older player.
What I'm saying is, even if Siakam
due to make,
you still have. I'll let Kyle. What's it?
He's due to make $52.3 million in 2 years. He'll be 34 with being a unrestricted free agent. So,
give you 3 years,
You think
even if they let him go,
with Tatum coming back, with Pistons on the rise, Charlotte on the rise, Cavs dominant, think
Charlotte on the rise is kind of a high statement there, but we'll see.
Saying Charlotte on the rise, Miami's still in the mix. You've got plenty of teams in the East that are still good teams. Toronto on the rise. I can't believe I'm missing that one. Toronto on the rise. Philly's still in the mix. All of those teams in there. You think you're going to make the finals in the next 3 years? I don't know. I can see the Pacers losing any of these teams.
Did people think they were going to make the Eastern Conference Finals 2 years ago? Did people think they were going to make the NBA championship last year?
I mean, you could have made the championship last year, and they did. I mean,
a lot of other people didn't. So
you got a different situation.
You can never doubt Indiana from what we have learned here. But again, going back to the Siakam thing, even if you don't have him, assume you get a top pick in this year's draft. You go out, I mean, there's a couple of guys that could replace Dybonsta, Boozer could both replace Pascal Siakam. Jarris Walker could replace Pascal Siakam. He's currently on the roster as Corey's gone. He doesn't want to listen to me rant about the Pacers. But like, there are options to replace Siakam that the Pacers could easily take. And if you decide to trade him, then you're getting back all this cap. There were rumors he was going to be gone this year at the trade deadline. So it's really an interesting thing. I don't know what they're going to do with Siakam, but I think the window is open longer than just when Siakam leaves or retires or
Big
whatever.
Z's getting old too. You just got Big Zoo.
Yeah, I mean, hey, again, Miles Turner replacement for the next couple of years. You just go back and replace him again. Like,
we'll see. But the NBA is a fun place to watch right now.
It is.
And I do want to, unless Kyle, do you have anything to say on the NBA front?
I just wanted to say how funny it is, just in general, that like fighting is wholly unaccepted in basketball. And by the way, Isaiah Stewart, he is just a bullet bill. The way he just tore through, got up from the bench and decided to insert himself into the fight.
Are we really surprised? Are we really surprised?
I'm not. I just found it to be very, very funny.
Like, you saw the clip of him fighting LeBron a couple years. Like we saw that, right? Like
and just getting through tackles.
He monster.
Look, from the tape I've seen of him, he should really just turn him. He should play football and just be like a defensive tackle or something, because he has that motor, man. He has that motor in the Motor City. Like, it's incredible how he's just able to tear through people like that.
He's going to get the longest suspension of all of them. Coming off the bench
from just being almost entirely unprovoked. Just like, I'm just going to insert myself into this and just probably hit some people.
And JB Bickerstaff, everyone's talking about that too. JB was like, our guys did not cross the line tonight. I'm like, okay, JB, what are you talking
Sure.
about?
No, but I just find it so funny as more of a hockey guy myself that it's fully accepted in hockey. Like, it's not only so accepted now, but we are now seeing goaltenders fight. Something that I personally, in all my years, like in the outdoor game between Boston and Tampa, the goalies fight. They fought, which is just the coolest thing in the world. As just such an interesting idea, because you always see these. It's always the defensemen that are fighting other, and they're grabbing their jerseys and this. But like, then the two dudes who are actually wearing like full on armor come at each other and just start bashing each other in the head too. I just find it so funny that it's not only essentially a lot. Like, you get penalized for it, but like, you're not going to get suspended, I don't think, for it, unless something horribly egregious happens.
You do something egregious,
yeah. You'll go in the penalty box for X amount of minutes. Maybe you get thrown out for the game, but in any other sport that is not the NHL, it is just fully denied and fully inexcusable.
That's what hockey is.
Bad teammate.
That's what hockey has always been, and that's like also why people have always said the hockey's not like good to advertise for. Like, you know, in today's day and age, I think you can get over it, but nobody advertises for the NHL.
Hockey has more realistic fighting than the WWE. Let's put that into perspective, all right?
Oh, sure.
If you want to see some real fighting, go to a hockey game in Boston or Toronto or one of those original 60. You're always going to find.
You want to see more real fighting than the WWE? Go to like a kindergarten class and
go to anywhere but the WWE.
What kids are fighting that young, dude? Are you kidding? Kids that young are not fighting. I mean, just speaking from experience.
Kyle, you weren't fighting that young, but you know, you gotta breed some young talent in the NBA and the NHL.
Yeah, man, get some MMA fighters up there.
To kind of hang on, I actually, this is maybe a rare moment here. I wanted to bring in an NBA point here, because I saw personally that the NBA is going to expand into 32 teams.
Yeah.
And I was just wondering what team, and it's probably going to be Seattle, and it's probably going to be Vegas. What team from the East or from the West is going to move over to the East?
I think it's Memphis.
Yeah, it should be.
You think it's Memphis?
I mean, well, Memphis is in the East. I mean,
It's one of three teams. It's New Orleans, it's Minnesota,
it's
or
Memphis.
it's Memphis. And
Yeah.
Memphis
I think it's going to be Minnesota.
Sense because you have other teams. The only team that's like near Minnesota is Milwaukee. Realistically,
the only team. There's like 4 teams that are close to it.
If you move Minnesota to the East, I feel
like that's all I'll give you.
I don't know. If you move Minnesota to the East,
establish the NFC. No, that's not even the NFC.
Fans would be mad because you're breaking up rivalries because Minnesota fans think that they're the biggest threat to OKC. They think that they're better than the Spurs and all of them. Right now, you can move Memphis to the East and no one will blink an eye. You can also move New Orleans to the East and no one will blink an eye.
That's as far as I'm concerned.
High profile to have them switch conferences. Weird example. But Brennan, I think you know what I'm talking about. When I was in high school, I played volleyball, and the 3-time state champions in a row of our top conference, because we were in the top conference, because of school size, got moved to the lower conference after they won 3 state titles in a row, and then they just slaughtered. You're not going to move Minnesota from the West to the East.
You're not moving Minnesota. That's not happening. It's Memphis. Memphis is in a prime position to join the Eastern Conference right now. Like,
just being
you
mid,
can't.
I guess.
I just don't think you can alter that, like, the West like that. Like, Minnesota right now is a perennial contender there. Let's be honest here. And you stick them into the East? Like,
yeah, they've made the conference final. Like it would be so.
But think about this.
It would be so confusing to have seen them in the conference finals the last couple of years, and then now you see them in the Eastern Conference finals.
Yeah, it would not make any sense.
Look, man. When the NHL redid their conferences and divisions, it was like Detroit. Whoa! Hold on.
I'm serious.
You're talking to the number.
Arizona. After what they've done with all the way.
Arizona did that to themselves. Arizona did that to themselves.
Arizona did that to themselves. As far as teams and locations and stuff go.
Look. You're talking to the number 1 Hartford Whalers fan on this podcast right now, so I would speak pretty. Yeah. Yes. No, I actually bought this off the internet. They did play in a shopping mall. When the NHL redid all their divisions back in, I think, like 2013, 2014, they moved perennial Western Conference teams like Detroit, like the Red Wings, who had so much success in the Western Conference for like the last 20 years before that. And Detroit themselves asked, "We want to be in the East. We are in the Eastern time zone. Why on earth are we in the Western Conference?" And they ended up being okay with it.
They're in the Central time zone.
Sure, I'm just saying.
We're also in the middle of the freaking United States. Like, who gives that much of a care? Like, it's going to be okay.
I just also from like a fan perspective, I feel like I'd be much more. If I was a Timberwolves fan, I'd be much more willing to like drive to Chicago and then drive to Denver. Like, you know what I mean?
You're not driving to Denver, you're flying, and you're also flying to Chicago. Like, it doesn't matter.
More within reach if it's more within reach if you're going to like a Chicago or a Milwaukee than a Denver. I'm just kind of what I'm trying to say.
No, I get that, but like it just makes way more sense for Memphis, and I think that's going to be the team. Like, again, they don't have a lot right now. I doubt the NBA wants to screw up their marketing and their advertising right now by saying, "Oh, Anthony Edwards is going to the East. He's going to battle Jason Tatum and Tyrese Halliburton and Jalen Brunson for NBA Finals."
It'd be cool. I mean, for me, I think it would be cool, but I don't think they would ever do it. I mean, I do think it would be kind of cool to see Minnesota play Boston, you know, and
what would they do with divisions? Do you think they go NHL style? They go NFL?
Divisions don't really matter in the NBA anymore. I mean, nobody cares about any division other than the Central Division at this point. Like, nobody cares.
Yeah.
But
it'd be kind of cool to see what they do. I mean,
yeah.
Who knows?
Huge victory just now for the Houston Rockets, by the way. Game over 102-95. But
congrats to the Rockets. The Pacers are going to win in overtime. They beat the Knicks.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, I will say
a win in the win column.
Who are you going to play in overtime? All right, guys, time for overtime. Let's rock our two-way contracts and like all of our worst players.
I don't even know who played in OT. I mean, Cam Jones, 2 points, around 8. I mean, what? Toppin and Jarris Walker didn't play. Furphy's out for the year. Halliburton's out. Zubac ain't playing. They did start all their guys today. So it's like, it's really weird. Again, I made a video about this. They're playing their starters against the teams they want to still prove like.
Well, they want to beat New York. New York they got to beat. New York. That's different.
Yeah. Hey, went into MSG. Oh, it's a 2-point game with 4 seconds left. I think they're shooting free throws now. Yeah. No, they're shooting free throws.
Well, hey, we hit an hour again, and I want to talk about one more thing. Well, it's something that we would never touch on, but I actually want to know what your guys' takes on it. Did you guys see the Lindsey Vonn stuff in the Olympics?
Yes, I did.
Kyle, was that the girl who broke her neck or her leg?
Or her ACL.
So she tore her ACL, then a week later skied in the Olympics and fractured her entire leg. Like 5 seconds into the run, just completely wiped out and
she had to be like medevac
airlifted out.
She got airlifted, right?
Yeah, and she's like 41 years old. She's had ACL tears before. She had her knee replaced 2 years ago. It is just beyond me. And I'm not out here trying to blame anyone. I'm not going to be like, oh, you're a bad person for what you did. I don't care. I'm shocked that this happened. Like how. Like, I cannot, as a person who has had a torn ACL, the concept of thinking that you can do that is shocking to me. And initially I heard
in such a short time frame, too.
Well, initially I had heard that she had surgery, and then a week later, I'm like, that's literally impossible. She did not. She did not have surgery. And I was like, okay, it's possible. You know, if you're doing a lot of prehab, if you've had leg injuries before, it's possible for you to have full motion because that's what they want you to have before you get surgery is full motion. But it's so unstable that it's such a bad idea. And downhill skiing, it's all landing, it's all shifting and stuff. What a confusing idea. I'm not mad. I'm not I'm just absolutely bamboozled.
I mean, I don't know how the Olympics work, but I would assume there would have to be some conditioner or something to like okay her playing in the first place, right?
I think the other thing with that too is she knew it was going to be her last Olympics because again, she's 41 years old. She would not be competing ever again.
And she's never won the gold, right? She wanted
to. So
she has a gold medal. She has 2 gold medals.
Yeah.
But I would have just said, all right, sorry that happened.
I know, but from an athlete's perspective.
One gold medal, 2 world championship medals. Sorry. But she has a 2010 gold medal.
She's already won gold, but at the same it's it's like Halliburton knowing going out there in game 7 of the NBA finals. These athletes live for this stuff. And especially with her knowing that this was going to be her last chance. She was given that news. She tore the ACL. When she was given that clear, she was like, I'm doing this. I'm not even thinking twice about it.
The thing is I don't really know if she got a clear per se. She just kind of did it. And the way the Olympics has always worked, in my understanding, Kyle, is
I think there's got to be.
They can't pull you. The only people that can pull you is your team. And they're not gonna do that. The IOC itself is not gonna pull her. So she did training because she tore her ACL. Then a week later, did training. She made it down the training course, which and everyone was like, wow, this is incredible. And then of course, the second it's time to go, she wipes out in 3 seconds because she can't control herself. Runs into a pole, lands on a pole, and then shifts and wipes out. I just am shocked at the levels that made that happen. And she was on Twitter before it happened. She was like doctors were like, oh, I'm shocked that this is happening. This is very dangerous to be doing. And she's like, oh, thanks, doc. I know my body better than you do. And she was like, yeah, it's 100% ruptured, but I don't care.
And then
it's just like
her leg just gives way during that, and now she doesn't have a leg anymore.
It's like
the other conversation is somebody else on the U.S. team. They tore their ACL a couple of years ago, I think, at the World Championships, and they went and skied. And then they also were injured like in a much worse way for a long period of time. And then I think they went back and won gold or something, some sort of return. But like, I wouldn't underestimate hubris and think like, oh, she did that, I can do it too. And it's just
again, I think the only reason she did that was because she knew she would never compete again.
Such a crazy concept. And I was watching a video today about load management in the NBA, about Michael Jordan's thoughts, because I always love hearing it. Like I've heard it a billion times, but I love the Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant mindset. It puts a smile to my face of the, hey, I'm doing this for the guy that worked his butt off to get tickets to my game. He was working hard to get enough money to buy tickets to my game, and I have an obligation to put on a show. Or in Kobe's case, he was like, I'm doing this for the kid that's looking up to me, and he's able to come to his first NBA game, and he's here to watch me put on a show. And that puts a smile on my face. But like, I don't know, like there are lines there, and I don't know where they are, but there are lines to how far you should push your body, because I agree that in the NBA it's a little egregious at how much these guys are not playing games when they could. I think you should, you have a little bit of an obligation to play through injuries. But in this situation, it's like, I understand the stakes are everything. I understand it's so important to you, but I'm just shocked. I'm not blaming that she made that decision. I might have done the same if I'm in the Olympics. I might have done it too, but I'm just shocked.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's an unfortunate situation, since we do want to talk about, or like you did bring up the NBA, and again, I kind of compared it to the Halliburton thing. If you're the Pacers, do you rest Halliburton in Game 7 of the Finals? For the same reason, Vonn would maybe sit.
Well, okay, the other thing, Halliburton didn't have any determined injuries before that game.
He had a calf strain. It was a strain.
Yes, calf strain. So he didn't have any determined fractures or tears or anything like that.
After seeing what happened to Tatum,
or a strain or anything like that, it's you wouldn't. If it was regular season, he'd be out for weeks. But it just feels different. And if he's saying he's cleared, if he's moving, if he's running with the team.
No, I 100% agree with you. I would have played him. But even with seeing because Tatum had the same injury.
I couldn't.
Tatum had a little bit of a strain, and then he just wiped out his entire Achilles.
That's what Halliburton did. I mean,
nice buzz.
Okay, can I speak to this? I understand that some athletes perceive this is just the moment, and that if I don't hit past the moment, then there's a chance I may never get back. I forget exactly what the scenario was, but I want to say I think it was Ryan Clark for the Steelers. I think he has sickle cell, and that's a very bad thing if you play in a high altitude game like Denver. So the Steelers are playing in Denver this one week, and Mike Tomlin told him, if you were my son, you would not be playing this football game. And I'm thinking personally, from a familial perspective, if you are playing hurt, if you're playing at an increased chance of just making your injury worse, I cannot in good faith say that you should have played.
Well, you talk about a familial perspective. I mean, the news stories now, Lindsey Vonn's dad is this, he's distraught that she did this.
Yeah.
And I'm exactly. I would be.
And she already has a gold medal, and I don't want to say another one wouldn't have hurt, because obviously it wouldn't. But you've already achieved this.
I mean, her last two times of the Olympics, she got bronze, or her last two times competing, she got bronze. And
that's more than I will ever get. So
she didn't even place. Or sorry, I don't even think she placed at the last one, but the one before, she has 2 bronze medals and a gold medal. Mm-hmm. But still, it's I agree with you. The other thing that I wonder is and I know for better or for worse, but like super athletes typically have the resources and abilities at their disposal to get healthy fast and like fast-ish, you know. And it's like it, but it's scary to have the mindset. Like, I don't know if like during my PT, I was told several times that ACL, other than Achilles, that ACL, meniscus, MCL, that all of that stuff together is the worst injury you could have, other than an Achilles injury. If I was told that information, took that in, and then came out of it and processed, hey, I'm capable of going through any sort of rehab, any sort of injury, because I just did this, which is not the mindset I have. But if I have that, that's a little scary to have the mindset that you can be healthy no matter what, because you could die. You literally could, you know, and you could get paralyzed. Your body could get wrecked because, you know, like, yes, she had a torn ACL before. It's not like she just tore her ACL more. She fractured her whole leg because of the situation that she put herself in. And it's just like, you're not invincible. Nobody is invincible.
And again, I'll kind of leave it with this. There's a reason the three of us are not athletes. I mean, to be an athlete, you gotta have that mindset almost of the invincibility, like you were saying, Corey, and it just, the normal person does not have that, and you gotta be a special breed to do that, and we just will never comprehend, I don't think, the want and the drive that they have to go.
Your whole world. I mean, it's your whole world.
It's their world. It's their life. They're getting paid to do it. That's another reason why I think she did it. I mean, think about all the money that was on the line if she didn't go out and ski in this Olympics. Like, again, at the end of the day, it's their job. It's their profession. They're obsessed with it. They put their body on the line for it. Like, you guys said it best. I mean, I don't think we can fully comprehend the level that these athletes are at mentally as well as physically. Like, it's a whole thing that an average Joe just could never do. So just leave it with that.
And with that will be the Banter Ball podcast being posted here on a Wednesday. Kyle, yes.
I wanted to conclude the podcast with Kyle Lowry's stats against the Trailblazers yesterday. Can I do that? Is that okay?
Sure. Let's hear it.
All right. He had 6 points. Pretty good. 1 rebound, 1 assist, 1 steal, and 1 block. He had a quadruple single.
Quintuple single, 5x1. Yeah.
Yes, all absolutely. Right. Sorry, I just wanted to.
I feel like the points kind of ruined that.
Much less
ceremonious. I feel like the points kind of ruined that stat. You know,
I think at one point he had a quintuple single, but he got more points. But yes.
Okay. Well, with that, a much less ceremonious ending. But that will be the Banter Ball podcast for this week, posted on a Wednesday. This is a weird season, guys. We're busy people, so we're posting.
I made a video today. Sports are amazing this year, so
sports are amazing. Sports are fun. I'm having a great time. But with that, you guys can follow us on TikTok, LinkedIn, Twitter. Why did I say LinkedIn second? Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, and Instagram, the biggest one. All right, there we go, guys, and that will be the Banter Ball podcast. Brennan, Kyle, any closing remarks?
I like cookies.
I like the Whalers.
Bye.